As you know, Norton's theorem helps us to simplify the analysis of linear electrical networks. How is that possible? In fact, we can reduce any complex linear electrical network into a simple equivalent circuit consisting of a current source in parallel with a resistor using Norton's theorem. And for calculating the value of that parallel resistor or Norton equivalent resistance of a particular network, we are supposed to set all sources present in that network to 0. We can set an independent voltage source to 0 by replacing it with a short circuit and an independent current source to 0 by replacing it with a open circuit. Now consider a situation where the electrical network to be analyzed is having dependent sources. How can we set a dependent source to 0? Or how can we calculate Norton equivalent resistance of an electrical network with dependent sources? Any idea? So join me in this session when I'm going to talk about how to apply Norton's theorem in electrical networks with dependent sources. You're watching me on our channel Crack Easy, the place to learn everything about Easy. In this lesson, I'll be focusing on how to avoid mistakes while applying Norton's theorem in electrical networks with dependent sources. So let's get started with a quick review on what is Norton's theorem. As I told you earlier, by using Norton's theorem, we can represent a linear network with a simple equivalent circuit consisting of a current source in parallel with a resistor. The short circuit current across the load terminals is the value of that current source, and internal resistance of the source network looking through open circuited load terminals is the value of that parallel resistor, which is known as Norton equivalent resistance. If you have any doubts regarding Norton's theorem, please do watch my previous video. In this video, we will be focusing only on how to find out Norton equivalent circuit of an electrical network consisting of dependent sources. And for obtaining that equivalent circuit, we are supposed to calculate two quantities, Norton current and Norton equivalent resistance. Norton current, which is nothing but the short circuit current across the load terminals, can be calculated directly from the network after replacing the load with a short circuit path. But for calculating Norton equivalent resistance of an electrical network with dependent sources, we have to use a formula. Rn is equal to VOC by ISC, where Rn is the Norton equivalent resistance, V of C is the open circuited voltage across open circuited load terminals, and ISC is the short circuit current across load terminals. You will get a more clear picture of this concept when we solve problems. So let me take you to the first question. Find the current through 1.6 ohm resistor in the circuit given using Norton's theorem. Our task is to calculate current through this 1.6 ohm using Norton's theorem. So what we are going to do is first we remove this 1.6 ohm and then find out Norton equivalent circuit of this network without 1.6 ohm. In next step, we replace this portion of network with its Norton equivalent circuit and then reconnect this 1.6 ohm. Finally, calculate the current through this 1.6 ohm by applying basic network theorems to the equivalent circuit obtained. Alright? So for finding out Norton equivalent circuit of this portion of network, we are supposed to calculate two quantities, Norton current and Norton equivalent resistance. Let us first focus on Norton current, which is nothing but short circuit current across load terminals. So we short circuit this load terminals and get a circuit like this. ISC is marked as short circuit current in downward direction. Now look at this 6 ohm resistor. You can see this 6 ohm and this short circuit path are parallel connected, and hence there is no significance for this 6 ohm. So we remove this 6 and get a circuit like this. Okay. Then by inspecting this network, you can see two loops. Let us consider this as first loop and this as second loop. ISC is the current flowing through the surface of second loop. As you know, loop current is defined as current flowing through the surface of a particular loop. Therefore, we can label ISC as the loop current in second loop in clockwise direction, and let us label I1 as the loop current in first loop in clockwise direction. Alright? Okay. Now look at this 10 ampere current source. It is connected at the surface of first loop. Therefore, we can equate the loop current I1 to this 10 ampere. Alright. So let us write I1 as 10 ampere. Next, we are going to apply KVL in second loop. Starting at this point, first we observe the voltage drop across this 1 ohm. And since we are considering second loop, the total current through this 1 ohm is ISC minus I1, and correspondingly voltage drop ISC minus I1 into 1 ohm. So we start our KVL equation with ISC minus I1 into 1. Then this 3I voltage source with the polarity marking the order minus plus, correspondingly we added the minus 3I to our KVL equation. So we get a KVL equation ISC minus I1 into 1 minus 3I is equal to 0. Here the controlling variable of this dependent source I is defined as current through this 1 ohm in downward direction. Let us now write I in terms of loop currents ISC and I1. From this network, it is clear that I can be expressed as I1 minus ISC or I1 minus IN. Okay, I is equal to I1 minus IN. IN is nothing but Norton current or short circuit current. By substituting the values of I1 and this I, we get our KVL equation as ISC minus 10 into 1 minus 3 into 10 minus IN is equal to 0, or we get IN as 10 amperes. Clear? Our next task is to calculate Norton equivalent resistance RN. Since we are dealing with an electrical network with dependent sources, RN is to be calculated by using the formula RN is equal to VOC by ISC. Here ISC, the short circuit current or Norton current, is already calculated as 10 ampere. So let us focus on VOC, which is nothing but the open circuited voltage across this open circuited load terminals XY. This node is labeled as V1, this as V2, and this as reference node at zero potential. You can see a dependent voltage source 3I between these two nodes V1 and V2. Due to the presence of this voltage source between these two nodes, we should go for super node method. That means these nodes V1 and V2 should be considered as a single super node and write KCL equation. Alright. At this node V1, we have one incoming current 10 ampere and one unknown current through this 1 ohm. When we write KCL at V1, this unknown current should be considered as outgoing current at V1. On the other hand, at node V2, we have one unknown current through the 6 ohm and it should be considered as outgoing current at V2. Alright. Now look at this 1 ohm. One end of this 1 ohm is at potential V1 and other end is at potential 0. Correspondingly, the current through this 1 ohm from node V1 to reference node can be written as V1 by 1. That is V1 itself. Alright. Similarly, one end of this 6 ohm is at potential V2 and other end is at potential 0. Correspondingly, the current through this 6 ohm from node V2 to reference node can be written as V2 by 6. Alright. Thus, at this super node V1, V2, we have one incoming current 10 ampere and two unknown outgoing currents. By KCL, sum of currents entering at a node is equal to sum of currents leaving that node. So we can write V1 plus V2 by 6 equal to 10, and it is labeled as equation number 1. Got it? Now look at this dependent voltage source 3I, which is connected between node V1 and V2. Based on the polarity of this source, we can write V2 minus V1 as 3I. Okay? And it is labeled as equation number 2. Here, the controlling variable I of this dependent voltage source is defined as current through this 1 ohm in downward direction. And correspondingly, this I can be equated to V1 by 1. Okay? By substituting the value of I in equation number 2, we get V2 minus V1 is equal to 3V1 or minus 4V1 plus V2 is equal to 0, and it is labeled as equation number 3. Then by solving equation number 1 and 3, we get V1 is equal to 6 volt and V2 is equal to 24 volt. Alright. Now look at this circuit. Here VOC is the open circuited voltage across this open circuited load terminals XY. By inspecting this network, it is clear that VOC is equal to V2. So we write the open circuited voltage VOC is equal to V2 is equal to 24 volts. Then by substituting the values of VOC and IN in the expression of RN, we get RN is equal to 2.4 ohm. Alright. Thus we calculated the values of Norton current and Norton equivalent resistance. Let us now draw the Norton equivalent circuit. Here, this Norton current 10 ampere is connected in parallel with this Norton resistance 2.4 ohm, and this portion of the network represents Norton equivalent of the electrical network given in question without 1.6 ohm. Hope you remember in the question we are asked to find out current through a 1.6 ohm. So for completing the network, we reconnect that 1.6 ohm, and here we obtained a simple equivalent circuit of the electrical network given in question. Alright. Now look at this point. Here this 10 ampere current divides between these two resistors 2.4 ohm and 1.6 ohm. By using current division rule, the current through this 1.6 ohm can be written as 10 into 2.4 divided by 2.4 plus 1.6, that is equal to 6 amperes. Okay, that's all about this problem. Let me take you to the next question. Find Norton's equivalent circuit of the network given. Here R1 is equal to 5, R2 is equal to 5, and IS is given as 2 amperes. Let us first calculate the short circuit current or Norton current. So by short circuiting these load terminals, we get a circuit like this. ISC is marked as current through this short circuited path. Here we have two loops. Let us consider this as loop number 1 and this as loop number 2. You can see ISC is the current flowing through the surface of second loop. So we mark ISC as loop current in second loop in clockwise direction. Similarly, you can see a current source IS at the surface of first loop. As you know, loop current is the current flowing through the surface of a loop. So we mark IS as loop current in first loop in clockwise direction. Now we are going to write KVL equation in this loop. Starting at this point, first we observe the voltage drop across this current source, which is nothing but Vx with the polarity mark plus minus. So we start our KVL equation with plus Vx. Then the voltage drop across this resistor R1, and is already given in question as 5 ohm. Correspondingly, the voltage drop becomes IS into 5 with the polarity mark plus minus. So we added term Is into 5 to our KVL equation. Finally, this dependent voltage source with the polarity mark plus minus. So what term should we add to our KVL equation? We should add a plus Vx term. By KVL, sum of voltage drop across each element in a loop is 0. So we get Vx plus Is into 5 plus Vx is equal to 0. By substituting the value of Is, we get Vx as minus 5 volts. Okay. Next, we write KVL equation in second loop. Starting at this point, first we observe voltage drop across this resistor R2, which is nothing but Isc into R2. R2 is already given in question as 5. So we start our KVL equation with Isc into 5. Then the voltage drop across this dependent voltage source Vx with the polarity mark minus plus. Correspondingly, we add a term minus Vx to our KVL equation. So we get Isc into 5 minus Vx is equal to 0, or Vx is equal to 5 into Isc. Vx is already calculated as minus 5 volt. By substituting this value, we get the short circuit current Isc is equal to minus 5 by 5. That is equal to minus 1 amperes. Alright, so what we are supposed to do next? We are supposed to calculate Norton equivalent resistance using the formula Rn is equal to VOC by Isc. Isc is already obtained as minus 1 ampere. So let us focus on open circuited voltage VOC, which is nothing but the open circuited voltage across this open circuited terminals AB. Let us write KVL in this first loop. Starting at this point, first we observe voltage drop across this current source Is, which is equal to Vx with polarity mark plus minus. So we start our KVL equation with Vx. Then the voltage drop across this resistor R1, which is equal to Is into R1. R1 is already given as 5 ohm. So we added term Is into 5. Finally, this dependent voltage source Vx with the polarity mark in the order plus minus. Correspondingly, we added term plus Vx to our KVL equation. Thus, we get Vx plus Is into 5 plus Vx is equal to 0. Okay. Let us now write KVL equation in this second loop. Starting at this point, first we observe this dependent voltage source Vx with the polarity mark minus plus. So we start our KVL equation with the minus Vx. Then the voltage drop across this resistor R2. Since these terminals are open circuited, there is no current flow through this resistor and hence no voltage drop across this. Finally, this open circuited voltage VOC with the polarity mark plus minus. So we added term plus VOC and we get minus Vx plus VOC is equal to 0, or VOC is equal to Vx. By substituting the value of Vx, we get VOC is equal to minus 5 volt. Alright. Then the Norton equivalent resistance Rn is equal to VOC by In. By substituting the values of VOC and In, we get Rn is equal to 5 ohm. Alright. Thus we calculated Norton equivalent current and Norton equivalent resistance. Let us now draw Norton equivalent circuit. Here the Norton equivalent current minus 1 ampere is connected in parallel with Norton equivalent resistance 5 ohm, and this is the Norton equivalent circuit of the electrical network given in question. Hope you got it. Thanks for watching. Thank you.